Hello,
Hey, welcome to Fire Clue. I'm Sandy.
and I'm Mike Flatman.
Welcome to the show today.
Yes, today we have a great guest. Um, I'm a past president of the International Association of Arson Investigators, so I've had a chance to go throughout the world and teach, but I also attend the conferences for the IAAI. And back in 2002, I met Sam Steiner, that we're going to talk to, and a guy by the name of Ren Shalif, who is, they are the movers and shakers of the Israeli chapter of the International, number 57 to be precise. And we were able to help them get 921 translated into Hebrew uh, those years ago. And they are an active, wonderful chapter. Plus, Sam is, in my opinion, now he will hate me for saying this, but in my opinion, he is the best fire case attorney in the country. The reason being is he's also a fire investigator and has been a, um, a private detective. So Sandy's going to talk to him first, and then I'll be back to speak to him. And thank you for being here.
All right, we're going to add him on right now. Hi, welcome, Sam.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you here.
We're great to have you on today. So, I'm the first one that gets to ask you some questions. So, what what was your interest in fire investigation?
Wow, it's a big question. Okay, let me give you some biographic of mine. Okay,
Yep.
I'm 68 years old, and you know that in 18 is mandatory to go to the army. So I went first to the combat unit, and I was wounded, and was transferring to military police. And then recognized me and sent me to CID, Criminal Investigation Department, uh, which is a very elite department. I don't know why they send me there. I'm not so elite. So, so I 3 years I was in the army making investigation, criminal investigations, drugs, murder, smuggling, fraud. And the unit is very, very elite, and reserve people are the best attorneys and the best attorney, lawyers, and accountants in Israel. The
Great.
leading people in Israel are in this unit. So I'm able to be practiced for many years. And you know, you're doing reservation in Israel until you're 50 or 55.
Oh,
So yeah. So I was investigator in the reservation and made all the war that I remember since Lebanon One and others. Okay. I was in Sinai. I was in Beirut. I was in the West Bank, in Gaza, any place. And you're asking yourself why criminal investigation of the army are going with the combat unit and uh, attending there. The thing is that the Israeli army is the most moral army, and you have the judges that are giving permission to make a killing, and especially if involving terrorists inside civilian. And if it does make a criminal things, they've been investigated by our unit and they been indicted.
okay.
And when I finished the army, uh, Israel, it was in 1979, Israel was starting to dealing with criminal, high criminal families like MAP.
Right.
And
like a mob.
yes,
Like the mob. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and
Sam, can I ask you a question? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was an air police officer during the Vietnam era. Okay, so I was in the Air Force and in Berlin for a couple of years. Does the Israeli military have a code like we do, the Uniform Code of Military Justice? You have a code. Does one of your laws as a military is can you be prosecuted if you follow an unlawful order? That is, if Colonel says,
you
don't,
have the military code law.
yes,
It's you can go to be prison for life if you're doing things that are like murder. Okay.
right. But what if you were ordered to by a colonel and you say, do you have a law that says it's a felony to follow an unlawful order? In other words, if they
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing good to you. The voice is not clear. Can you repeat your question, please?
sure, okay, you're a soldier, okay? This is the example. You're a soldier, and a colonel walks up to you and says, there is a young child standing over there. I want you to shoot them. Okay, now, that's an
It's a,
unlawful.
I understand. I understood. It's a black flag raising, and you are entitled to refuse to do it
That's right.
for
But
100%.
okay,
It's a
good.
black flag.
Now, okay, so and if you did do it,
You're going to jail.
that's what I wanted to know because see, uh, I'm
This
afraid in
is
this.
this is one. I can tell you one of the criminal investigation that I made. Children were throwing stones
Mhm.
on a vehicle, and they were about. I was speaking with meters because I
Yes,
don't know the okay, and
yes.
they were about 50 meters from the army. The
50 or
children
50?
was about 11 or 12,
Okay,
and it was not a colonel. It was not sergeant major. Um, he was an officer, but I don't remember his rank.
okay.
He was shooting not with lead. It's like a
Rubber bullets.
Rubber. Right.
rubber bullet, and was causing. He lost his eyes, the child,
Oh,
and he was saying himself that he was in stress and frightened from for being killed because
Right.
stone also can be killed you. Okay,
Sure.
right. So I was going to the scene, close the scene. It's at the middle of Intifada, which means it's hell. You had to. We brought a lot of army to make the scene, and he couldn't prove that he was under threat because if you're throwing a stone for 50 meters, it's lost the velocity and it's not dangerous.
You're
Okay,
right.
right.
I got
and he
it.
went for 6 months to jail.
Mm.
Yeah, well, see,
So
okay, well, thank you for that because you see, in the United States, the UCMJ, which is the Uniform Code of Military Justice, has a provision that says you will not obey an unlawful order. In other words, if you're
Mhm.
ordered to kill a civilian that's innocent, you will not obey that. And if
Right.
you the colonel can be actually prosecuted that anyway. But okay, but you were saying, and this is
okay,
what I
let's continue because this is not was the question that I've been asked. So
yeah, but yeah,
and fast forward, I finished the army and we established on the treasure investigation unit of international crime, fraud crime, custom crime, like you have the ATF, okay, but they are not dealing with explosion. They're dealing only with finance, okay?
Right.
And after that, I was working as an international trader, and in 1991, I started to be a private investigation. I had the license since 1982, but I started to work as a private investigator in 1991. And my first case was a fire on the North Country. I didn't understood nothing about that, but I knew to investigate it as a private investigation to collect evidence, okay? And I have luck, and I met a fire investigation of the brigade, the fire brigade, an old person. As I thought there that it's an old person, he was 50. I thought 50, it's the end of the world. Who knows that I would come to this age, okay? Anyway, he took him as a protege, and he said, you know that he's a IAAI in Israel, and I can get you in. Why not to learn? If you're going to investigate a fire, why not to learn about that?
Right.
And as much as I enter more and more to fire investigation, I was astonished by that.
And you're very good. You're actually very good.
In 2002, we went to Milwaukee to the conference. It was my first conference. And I met some guy, I think Mike Schlattman is the name. I'm not sure about that.
Strange.
And he was running for second vice president. So I said to him, why you are second? Why you're not first? I don't understand it. If I'm running to be first. Why not second? And Donna,
and I won.
Beautiful young lady, she said it is his daughter. I don't know how is such a good-looking girl is your daughter, but leave it alone. Okay.
Different father.
Anyway,
Talking about my sister.
I can see it. I can see the reason, but I don't know how it's connected to him. Okay.
We don't know either.
And he was invite me to make some celebration, and I tell you now the truth, and all the truth and nothing but the truth. Ran Shelley that was with me said, you know, we are not voting to anybody. We're saying to everybody that we are voting for them because we are not entered to the American politics. The one that win, we say that we say. And I was voting for him. He was very nice. He gave me to eat. He gave me to drink. And I had a pin with Star of David. And remember, I told you, if you will wear the Star of David, you 100% will win.
Absolutely.
And they was checking the ballot, and he said something, you know, I don't know, you have something wrong in your mind, the Americans. You're saying the truth. You're saying we don't recognize this method of telling the truth who you're going to vote. Okay, not recognizing Israel.
Yeah, they don't do that.
I'm going to vote you. I'm not going to vote you. In Israel, you're going to the you say one thing and you're voting to the other one. And they was checking the ballot, and something is not wrong. And Ran asked me, are you crazy? Did you did something? I said, yes, I vote on someone, Mr. Schlattner. I think he's a Jewish. He said,
well, I'm a Jewish Catholic. That's what I'm a Catholic.
Anyway, from that moment, I think that we become, I think, the best, the best ever friend that we had. And he had one condition. If he'd been winning, he coming to Israel. And he came to Israel.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that he was in love on the country, on the people.
They're wonderful.
Yes.
And when you think the people and you met the people and you met the country, you changing the way you're thinking about people.
Yes, and I
Anyway,
wish you would tell this whole audience how nobody understands how small the country is,
okay, it's a
on
good
how
question.
wide it is and how
Okay.
long it
Okay,
is.
everybody in protesting from the river to the sea.
Yeah.
First, we're speaking about the Jordan River to the
Yeah.
Mediterranean Sea. The wide between my home, which is in the Mediterranean Sea in Hedera, to the West Bank is 12 and a half kilometers,
Oh, wow.
which means it's about 8 miles.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then
I let you understand what we're thinking about, okay?
right.
So,
Right.
and from the Golan Heights until Eilat is 750 kilometers, less than 500 miles,
Wow.
okay?
Yeah.
yes,
In this area, 10 million people living,
Wow.
and
which
only
means which
Yeah.
and
My.
mean
you,
which
go ahead.
mean that we are country that been surrounded by I can unit is in hospitals should call it anyway. I will close it. 22 countries are surrounding Israel. 22 Muslim country. 1 billion people Muslims against how many Jewish in the world? 20 million? 10 of them in Israel. So the proportion of what we made here, my father, that was the founder of this country, that came here, it was nothing, it was desert. And we raised from the Holocaust because I don't have family. I don't know who is my grandfathers, my uncles, my aunts. Any family in Israel from the beginning, they are not a family. They came here from the Holocaust and raised a country that is second to United States in aviation, in high tech, in music, in medicine, and in any things. Ask yourself, how many Nobel Prizes all the Muslims together have? And how many Nobel Prizes Jewish have?
That's right. And I know that's the
What is
truth.
the contribution of the Muslims to the world besides hate and killing?
Right. Well, that is, and that is correct, and you can look that up. Nobel Prize winners, the things that you've brought, the Iron Dome, all of the things that you have done, and that's the reason that you keep, you're able to vanquish your enemies. Yeah.
I'm not speaking about that. Let's speak about water. Okay?
Right.
Desert country.
Right.
Okay? Can you in California open the water how much you want on the shower?
Yeah.
In
Well, in
Texas?
California, no.
No.
Right.
Because
In
they
Israel, you have running water 24/7. How much you want? How comes?
Right.
We're making water from the sea and we're making water for dirty water to agriculture, cleaning water with with high tech and AI tools.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
wow.
we are,
so
yeah,
we're
and
speaking.
I know that your
We're speaking that we sell to Africa and to EU and to other countries technological of making fruits, vegetables, agriculture, wheat with no water in desert. Okay?
right.
Right.
The-
Right.
Okay, so ask yourself. I'm not speaking army. Leave the Iron Dome, leave the Aero, leave all the armies. I'm speaking about. Let's speak about cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Let's think about that as a pill that you swallow on your stomach, and it photographed all your stomach without opening your belly.
yes,
Let's speaking about
Wow.
WhatsApp. Let's
yes,
speaking about Waze. Okay,
Oh, was WhatsApp and Waze from
this
Israel?
is
I
all
didn't know
coming
that.
from a country of 10 million people.
Oh, I
yes,
didn't know
yes.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use Waze all the time. I
Anybody?
love Waze.
This is the thing why we're talking, because most of the people in the world, and especially in America, and especially the young people in America, does not understand the contribution of the Jewish and Israeli to the welfare of the world. Okay?
And now, and I want to talk about something else that you've done, okay, that nobody else has done in the whole world. And that is you have accepted as of March 2026. Tell our audience what you have done about fire with NFPA.
Go.
Okay. A few crazy people, friend of mine, really crazy, no? Have a chutzpah. You know what's a chutzpah?
Oh yeah, we
Chutzpah.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Got
They
the
know.
have a
chutzpah.
chutzpah, and they flew to United States to the NFPA and said, "Look, we want to have a NFPA in Israel, Israeli NFPA, NFPA IL." I said, "You crazy? We don't have it in any place." No, no, no. We're going to do it. And Dr. Shmuel Netanel, which is one of the biggest mind of prevention and planning anti, and NFPA Israel now is almost sister of the NFPA International, and we're doing conference here on the level of the high level of education, NFPA 101.
Life
And
saving.
in March, in 1st of March 2026, Israel accepted NFPA codes 101, NFPA 72
Oh,
as
that's
a
good.
legal
Law. That's law.
to get legal law to get a license of buildings.
That's
And,
Oh,
fantastic.
great.
and
For
let's
permits. Yeah.
speak about IAAI.
Yes.
Few crazy people in 1980 something, about 30 years ago, was establishing the 57 chapter. Okay? And we managed to bring last year that NFPA 921 and NFPA 1033 will be the code of the Israeli investigation. And now the fire investigation in Israel are not brigade, it's the federal investigation.
Ah,
They're not individual fire departments.
No.
They're a
it's
federal
federal.
organization.
In
Okay.
2012, the law changed, and we united all the fire brigade in the country and make them a legal fire law of Israel under administration of Homeland Security.
Wow.
Okay,
So yeah.
Yeah.
this is
So
the
you're
important. This is very important
Yeah.
because before that, every city have its own department, and the mayor was say who will be the chief of the fire investigation or chief of the
right.
fire brigade.
Mhm.
No more since 2012. So the law, the code, the ethics, everything is federal.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
And
and
so when
and
they
we
test,
brought the 921 in 1 March 2026, which is tomorrow morning,
yeah,
we can say, will be the code of investigation in Israel.
yeah. So 1033, the qualifications, and 921, the guide, will both be totally and completely accepted in Israel, and that's the
And in
first.
Israel, it will not
That's
be a
amazing.
guide. In Israel, the 921 with verification, because
The judges, it's a
It's
judication.
different. Jurisdiction is different. We don't have jury in Israel.
Right.
Okay, we
Uh-huh.
don't have the system
Yeah,
A
jury.
you don't
jury.
have,
Okay.
you don't have
We're
jury.
professional court.
Oh, that's very important. I'm glad you brought that up because the judge, so the fire investigators in the brigades are federal people, and they have no allegiance to anyone. So what they say is accepted as being non-biased, unbiased. Yes.
Yes, and this is very important.
Yeah,
But
and
not bias, not bias, it doesn't mean that they are qualified.
right, that's true.
Uh,
Unfortunately,
We have that here too. So,
unfortunately, as a lawyer that I'm doing damages for almost 40 years, um, a lot of them doesn't have enough qualification,
which is
and
why you and the IAAI and NFPA all together have formed the
we're working very hard. And the 26th of October, we bring an international expert from United States. The name is Mike Schlattman, to lecture the biggest bar in Israel, the Tel Aviv bar, for judges from district, magister, and the lawyers of the biggest city and district in Israel. And it will be the first time that they will hear me as a lawyer that defending and suing civil court,
right,
expert Ran Shelef that is expert of the court, and Mike Schlattman as a formal IAAI CEO.
yeah.
It will be first time that judges will hear from the mouse horse how should be trained an expert in court.
Yeah, let me ask you a question because this is important. You have, as you said, and we have different varying people of varying backgrounds that became investigators, and some of them, of course, are better than others. There are some that represent themselves as experts in fire investigation when they really aren't qualified, and the judges listen to them, and sometimes make rulings that are well, they wouldn't be appropriate because they're not scientifically verifiable. Can your people do that too? I mean, the experts that come into the Israeli courts, sometimes they're not really experts. Is that correct?
Okay, let's divide it. Experts that coming from what you call fire brigade, and I'm saying the national fire
Yes. Yes, yes.
in Israel, they have a law, and they have to follow the law and be qualified.
Right.
The problem that since Ran Shelef left is nobody have enough qualification of CFI trainer to give them the training. And some of them are trained in very low level. And it's a big problem because they've been acceptable as a non-bias. They have leverage on other experts. So it's very important that when you come and giving your lecture, that the first question the judge will ask anybody that coming to testimony as an expert witness, what and how and where he was learning and what his experience to that.
Right.
Tell you, I can tell you example that I'm dealing with that now. I have a fire that caused on electrical board
Okay.
on old condominium house, okay?
Mhm.
And the damage is nothing. The material damage is about $10,000 top, okay? The problem, we have 9 injuries, 2 of them, one was jumping from 3rd floor and she's in coma. The other was running through the fire and she burned 90% of the body.
Oh.
So the case is going to a small court, what we call, and in small court, the judges does not nominated expert for the court
Right, the counsel, the judge. Yes.
to counsel the judge. Now the judge does not understand in fire nothing at all. We was in the position. I find out that the rent, the one that rent the house from my client, we call it Shabbat watch. The religious are not allowed to take the light or electricity or fire when Shabbat is entered.
Right.
We are now in Shabbat, okay?
Right.
Shabbat enter on Friday when 3 stars on the skies, and get out, Shabbat is getting out on Saturday when you see 3 stars on the sky.
Okay.
About 25 hours, okay?
Right.
And this watch is putting between the
Circuit breakers?
between the ICE, the electricity
Right,
company
yeah.
and the house.
So it turns it
And
off?
and nobody of the expert, it was 3 experts, fire from the government came, a fire expert from the electricity company, a fire expert from the insurance, a fire expert for the other side of the insurance. No one knew about this watch.
Oh,
Now, if the court will say that it's a negligence, you understand that it's going to be millions of shekel or dollars
yeah,
because of the injury, because
Right.
the direct damage is nothing. The
right.
property damage is not, and the judges, she does not understand it, and didn't
Okay.
allow me to
Yes.
bring for the court to help the court, but doesn't matter, because when I will cross-examining them, and they will admit that they didn't check it and didn't saw it, it's reasonable doubt to throw the case.
And let me see that I understand what you're saying. So on Shabbat, when the electrical electricity is turned off at the house and then returned on at the end of Shabbat. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
The watch, instead of turning the light on and off or making the heat,
Okay.
the watch have the ability to open automatically in exact hour that Shabbat is enter, the lights and all electricity,
Right.
the
Fine.
conditions and everything. So you don't need to push buttons. You don't
Right.
need to do work,
Right.
That's great.
because you don't allow to work.
When I
Right.
was,
Right.
when I was there in Israel, I understand what that means because you're not supposed to push buttons. I was in Israel and you set me at a very good hotel in Tel Aviv, and it was a tall
No,
hotel.
not in Tel Aviv, it was in Hedera.
Oh, well, no, I know, but I was in both. Okay, the bottom line is the the one in Tel Aviv stopped on every floor. You know, you would go up, it would stop on every floor. You go down, it would stop on
This
every floor.
okay. This is called Shabbat elevator.
Right,
Oh, okay.
In every, even in my tower now, we have 3 elevators. In Shabbat, one of the elevators will stop in every floor. But today, because of the electronic and computers, we
right,
are know what family where they live. If you, I'm not religious, and I am in the 21st floor. So I don't need to use the Shabbat elevator, so I'm using the regular elevators because we have 3 elevators.
right,
Okay? Let's say that on the 20th floor also no one is religious. So why to fly the elevator to 20th floor? So let's say that you have the 2 floor, 7th floor, and 8th floor, only religious people. The elevators will stop only in those places.
Oh, I see.
that's great. That's great. See, it's good. It's good to know. Now, so let's go back to you again. You were a private investigator for a
Okay.
number of years before you went into
30, more than 30 years.
more than 30 years, and you worked fire cases. You worked all kinds of cases, all arson for profit cases, fraud cases, theft cases, all kinds of cases. And then, what possessed you to become an attorney? I don't know. Because I've been a
Okay.
private investigator 50 years.
Okay.
I'm a police first, and then
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that after that I will answer that you want to be my friend again. But
go ahead. No,
okay.
what possessed you to
No,
become
I,
a lawyer?
it was my dream to be a lawyer since I remember myself. Okay,
Really?
but I was a bad children and student, and I most of the time was on the Mediterranean than in school.
Right.
You believe in the beach? Yes. Okay. The beach.
Yes,
Okay.
I love the beach, and my parents' home was 20 meters from the beach. So
Oh,
before I went to school, I went to the beach.
uh,
Sometimes I came and sand was falling from my from my pants, and my teacher said, "What happened?" I said, "No, I was fall down on the mat."
Well, Sandy is got the same problem. She loves the beach. That's why she's in Virginia, and I'm here.
Anyway, so I didn't learn,
No.
but I have ADD and disorder, and have difficulty of learning by the book. And in my age, in that age, my parents didn't knew that this is preventing me
To
to
study.
yes.
right.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think
after
you
my,
overcame that. I think you overcame that. You've now been a successful,
I will
successful.
tell you. I will tell you how. When my oldest Stavit went to school, she was 9 years old. We started to understand she is very intelligent, but she's not succeeding to stay and she cannot stay on class 45 minutes. It's it make her crazy, and she cannot doing the homework. It's so we take her to evaluation to understand what and then I understand that I gave him this disorder.
ADD,
And
yeah.
I was the PTA of the class, and then the PTA of the school, and then the PTA of the district. And I started to learn from PTA in Australia and Canada and United States that I was searching to understand how we can learn in a different way,
Right.
because I learning from oral more than in writing. Okay, but
Yes.
but I was able to, with good teachers that I had on the university, before going to the university, I had the luck to have two teachers, two professors, that they was expert on kind of moron like me, and I was succeeding to finish the law school with the top 7 of my class.
It's wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, because
But
law school is,
That's
I
amazing.
was 50 years old that I went to school.
Wow. That's
you know,
amazing.
Sam, and I have been to the law school at St. Louis University. I took a class there once on death and dying, anyway. And so on the wall of the law school was a blackboard, and it said, um, "Going to law school is like trying to drink from a fire hose. So you stick this thing, and all of the information comes in and then blows out of your ear." So
I always was good when I always good with people, understanding what motivation people, understanding body language. Was coming to me very natural, and the succeeding as investigators, they is doing themselves, and I'm self learning more than lecture on board and homework. I'm better on learning by myself.
right. Now,
Yeah.
can I ask you something? Because I think you and I believe the same thing. The scene work, the fire scene work, is always conducted, or should always be conducted per 921, the scientific method in a certain manner, and how you take collection of evidence and all that. But what it doesn't, what I believe too, is the interview with the people that are involved, that are there, that own the place, that live there. That those interviews are, even though they're not, they are scene related, but you can get a lot more information to build what the ATF calls the pre-fire stage, the fire stage, and the post-fire stage of the fire. And so, don't you think? I mean, I don't know. Not trying to put words in your mouth, but I've always believed that interviewing is integral, critical to the proper fire scene examination. And secondly, that is the least amount that we spend in the fire service in the United States is talking about interviewing. We
I
need
tell
to
you, I tell you what important in my mind:
go ahead.
curiosity,
Yes,
doubting,
yes,
and be professional as asking yourself, are you seeking for the truth? This is the 3 key that I'm working since I remember myself. Be honest yourself. If somebody is doubting you, don't shut him up. Ask yourself if it's not his truth, and make more efforts. Find more evidence. Find objective evidence, photographs, recording,
that's Sam.
phone calling, etc. And then combine all the information together and to see if you have the picture or you have the whole that you cannot explain. And saying, I don't know, it's better than to say, I know, but it's not 100%.
That's, I agree with you
Right.
100%. Now, let me talk to you about the legal system there. The judge makes the decision. You don't have juries. So, so first of all, the fire investigator has to write a report. Is that correct? Now, they don't always testify, do they? Do they
So
always?
the last word that you said?
Okay, they write a report and it's submitted. right, to the judge. He reads it.
They don't submit it to the judge. It's not working like that.
No? Where does it
No.
go?
Okay, the fire investigation, when the fire is big or the loss is big or it's injured, they making investigation and making report that they are remaining on the file. Okay? If it's involving criminal, if the fire investigation think that it's should go to the police, the report will go to the police, and the police will open a file. And if the police will open the file, they can close the case in various, or they say they don't find anyone to prosecute, or they say that they don't have enough evidence to prosecute.
Yeah.
Okay?
Same way here.
So anyway, this is the criminal path.
Right.
Okay? Now,
The civil.
beside the criminal working, if it was a fire that people been injured, they will sue or their insurance company or the plaintiff that they think that it's negligence.
Right.
And they will bring their own expert to the scene,
Okay.
a private expert. But disclosure, including getting the report from the government. And this is how it's combined. The civil and the criminal law can combine. Of course, if somebody convicted in indictment, of course that you can use it on the civil court also.
Of course, yes. But in the civil court, when you're going to trial, you have two people, like you're on one side and the other side, let's say you're suing a manufacturer, okay, and then the manufacturer's attorney is over here. You have to present your evidence, right? And part of the evidence is your report from your investigator. Yes.
And also the report that I brought from the government.
Of course. And so, but that is submitted to the judge, is it not? Does it?
It's been submitted first in disclosure between the parties, and then it's one of the evidence that it's going to cross examination that each side is bringing. And in Israel, the plaintiff,
Yeah, plaintiff.
One second. The plaintiff, yes, have to prove on reasonable doubt, which means 51% that the other side is negligent.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So actually, the defendant, in theory, doesn't have to do anything because all the liability is on the plaintiff.
Right. So,
but one second, it's not so easy.
Right.
Not so easy.
Right.
We have damage law in Israel,
Oh.
which goes since the British was in Israel, and paragraph 39, if fire was happened on real estate or in device, the defender have to prove that he didn't negligent. It's rolling to him
Right.
to prove with severe doubt that he didn't negligent.
right. Now, my question is, then you have a fire investigator on the one side, which is the plaintiff's side, okay, which is both a fire brigade and like the insurance.
No. In the civil court, each of the sides bringing their own private expert, fire expert to themselves.
Oh,
But you get to put in
But I entitled, or as a defending, or as a plaintiff, to subpoena the fire investigator of the country.
right,
okay.
If they made a report, not all the cases they made a report.
sure.
Right.
Okay?
Now,
Right.
okay, so I know you're allowed to do that. Okay, I knew that. The thing is though, um, my question is, not all the fire investigators have to give depositions. And if they do give depositions, they give depositions in court, not outside. Is that correct?
Okay. Let's divide it between regular witness and expert witness.
Yeah, we know
Okay?
this.
Expert witness should give a report under section 24 to 26, which is declare his what he learned, what his experience, and he have to show that on a bio that he is an expert. Okay,
Right.
this is mandatory. Without that, you cannot give the report to the court. And be that if decided plaintiff or the defender want to use this report, they should bring him to testimony. Without testimony, the weight of this evidence are very small
Hmm.
because it's a legal proposition in Israel that if you have a witness that have a good things to say about your case and you
Right.
didn't quote him, it's mean that you're afraid that he have bad things to say.
Right.
Okay, so
Makes sense.
so Sam, let's say this. Let's say I'm your expert. Mike Slatman is your expert. You're bringing me in this very, very large case. Okay? And I'm coming in and I write my expert witness report. And my expert witness report here in the United States is called like a Rules 26 letter. It's a big thing. Every you have to substantiate all of your opinions with everything. All right. So I've written that report, and then we're going to try. You're going to trial. Am I going to be sitting in outside the courtroom, and you're going to call me in and say, "Mr. Slatman, did you investigate?"
Exactly. I tell you more of that. Let's say the judge nominate you
Okay.
as his counsel expert, okay?
Yeah.
You still be cross-examined by sides and you will wait outside.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know that because see,
I tell you more of that.
okay.
I'm crazy. I was managed to sue the expert of the court because I proved to the Supreme Court that when sides are leaning on his expertise and he's not expert, he making damages, and then I can sue him directly as a damage, even if he comes for the court.
Oh,
Well, that's different, but
It's a very rare,
yeah.
but I'm crazy, so sometimes I'm doing things that I'm.
Well, okay, so all our fire investigators listening out there, if you want to go to Israel, remember what he just said. If you're going over there, you better be an expert and you better know what you're talking about, or otherwise they'll sue you.
Look,
Yeah.
if somebody say I'm expert on an electricity fire,
Right.
and he's not engineering, he's not technician, he's nothing. He was in the course of 3 hours in IAAI. Do you think
Oh,
that you can
no.
be expert of the court and giving
Definitely no.
ruling that yes, it's this is secret? Come on.
Definitely no.
I agree with
So be careful when you say you are expert
Right.
and in what you are expert. We have a case, very, very important. It's not in fire. Elat city wanted to build a marine, like lagoon,
Yeah.
okay? And it's artificial lagoon.
Okay.
They brought expert from Technion, which is the highest level of the university in Israel, and they say they are expert on water, and they give expertise that it's doable to make the lagoon, and the water will change by the waves.
Okay.
But this lagoon becomes stinky lagoon, and they lost billions, millions of dollars there, and they've been sued.
Mm.
And we proved that they are not being expert on ecological water.
Ah,
Okay,
right.
And
they
so,
may be so they've been paying 27 million shekel.
Oh,
oh my gosh.
Okay,
Well, so did you call this the Stinky Lagoon case? Is that what you called it? Did you- because it was all algae and all kinds of other stuff floating in
ugh,
this. Yes. I'm
that's
going to
no
call it
fun.
the Stinky
so you
Lagoon.
say, so the thing is that if you say your expertise and you're giving opinion,
Yeah.
Mhm.
be sure that you are expert on the question that is the
Yeah.
legal question that the court want to find out.
And last
Yeah.
question for me, and because we're running out of time, and that is this. In your system, you present this evidence. Does the judge also ask the witnesses questions?
Yes, many
Huh?
times,
Oh,
That's
many
good
times.
because that's rare in here in the United
yeah,
States.
not
The
here.
judge doesn't usually ask questions.
The method in theory is advertised, okay? But there are categories and they asking question and they asking clarification and they are very smart to ask sometimes the question that they are pointless exactly the problem, and it's
Yeah.
helping to finish cases many times.
So, and then the final verdict is brought in by the judge, right? He says yes or no, right? And then that be appealed to the Supreme Court?
No, it's not always Supreme Court. It's not automatically Supreme Court. If you are going to magisterial court, you can appeal only to the district court.
Okay.
If you want to appeal, if the district court is ruling, uh,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
one side is not happy to go into the Supreme Court, it should be a questioning that not are dealing with the case, that they are have
A larger problem. Yes. Okay. I got it. It's not
it's not
dealing.
automatically that you can go to the third
Right.
clause.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
so yes, so there is an appeal to the district court, but there's above the district court, it has to go to the Supreme Court, it has to be a larger issue.
Only the question that are that you don't have answers on the verdicts that was before. 99% they will throw you from the stairs.
Okay,
Okay.
so Sam, if somebody wants to get in touch with you to discuss these matters, or the best thing to get in touch with is the office at Stylaw, right there, and then of course you're also on WhatsApp. Um, And do you have an office number on WhatsApp or what is it?
No.
No.
I'm giving my private WhatsApp.
So,
My law office. No, now seriously, okay.
Right, right.
My office law with unit labor. We are boutique office. We are
okay.
not have any lawyers under us, not secretaries. I'm interviewing. We're taking cases only if we like to take them. We don't take any case.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
9 to 10 cases that coming to my office, I'm not taking them. I'm just I'm hearing the people, see the problem, and I see that I cannot help them. I send them where they want to go, but I will not take case only only for money, only for taking it. Okay, we are boutique
Specialty.
firm,
Yes.
Hmm.
very conservative on the good way. We're
Yes.
thinking out of the box, but we
Right.
are leading the company with fair and square. And if somebody come to us and I'm examining him as he's the opponent, and if I see that he's lying or is not solid with his questioning, I will not take him as a client. To be my
Right.
client, you have to work out. It's simple as that. No, it's
Yeah, I know.
Right.
You have to take, you
after
have to,
after 50 more than 50 years that I'm in the business of investigations.
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
since 1976, 45, I don't know. I'm not good in mathematics. This is why I'm learning law and not mathematics.
Anyways,
101, how much 101, 1 plus 1, you know?
yeah, yeah. Okay, there you go. How much is that? Yes, I do know it.
It's depending if I have to get the money or to pay the money.
Right.
That's,
So
that's
anyway, what I'm wanting to say that we are taking cases that we are certainly that we can work out and the client understand from the beginning that he is a partner, is not throwing the documents and say goodbye. He's a partner and he have to work with us and we're giving our hearts and bodies to the case until we're winning. We have 89% of winning in my
Oh, that's
office.
good.
that's very good.
That's
Was
good.
there anything? Is there anything you'd like to say in closing to the fire investigators
Yeah.
that are listening to you, or the
Okay.
fire brigades, or whatever?
To me, in Israel, and I believe it's worldwide, the first question that I'm asking myself is the client tell me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, even though that sometimes the truth on his side is not good. I don't know to give medicine if I don't know the thickness. So anytime that you are taking client, it's important that he will tell you the truth, and it is important to say the client, I cannot represent you. If you see that you cannot help him. And
Okay.
Right.
this is ethics.
This is, it
Yeah.
definitely is. Well, the IAAI has a code of ethics. You have law ethics here in the United States. There are legal ethics, of course, and people should always follow ethics and tell the truth. That's,
Yeah.
truth is truth,
That's right.
and it's,
That's right.
yep, there you are. So anyway, well, thank you for being with us today.
Yeah. Thank you. I know it didn't ask very many questions, but it was lovely hearing your story. So,
Thank you for hosting me, and I'm sorry for my bad English.
Oh, no,
Um,
because
you
you
did
were
well.
fine.
Yeah.
Everybody understood you. Okay,
Yeah.
they'll probably,
hope that we will have more than that.
yeah, we will. And
Yes, we will.
I will see you when I get to Israel. Okay.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Yes. All right.
Good
Thank
evening.
you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.